3.14 number P. Do you know the Gukesh D? Of course you should, because he's about to win the candidates tournament. I am so shocked that the 17-year-old guy might be a pretender to become a world champion. Of course, everything will decide today or maybe tomorrow if tiebreaks happen. But anyway, welcome everyone, KosakChess here, and I welcome you really warmly on my recap from my game when I played against the Gukesh D. Who cares that we played a game 4 years ago and on the online event on the Title Tuesday? Who cares about it? Already back in these days, Gukesh was already a star, a rising star with a rating approximately about 2600. So they were putting a great hopes on him, and I had a pleasure to, as I have told before, I had a pleasure to face him on one of the titled Tuesdays. And I played black, so something new, because against Prague I played with the black pieces. No, against Prague I played with white pieces. Oh, I don't remember. Please, if you didn't see the game, go go in the top right corner and click this I letter just above my head. But okay, let's go to the game. Gukesh D played knight f3. The guy who is leading in the candidates tournament. Do you follow this tournament? Do you know what is happening there? Because in Poland, when I want to see all these games, I have to go sleep at the 2 a.m. at 2, maybe 2:30 a.m. because these games are happening in Toronto, Canada. So, because of these time zones, they're happening pretty late for us, for the guys from the west. No, from the east. I am always mistaken with this with these sites. Okay, who cares? Knight f3 played by Gukesh. Knight f6, g3. So a pretty calm solution. g6. I repeat, because I don't really want to lose immediately. Bishop g2, bishop g7, castle, castle. So yes, I am doing a typical monkey opening where I just repeat every single move. What does he do? d3, and of course his intention is to play the move e4, sizing the center. So I am playing d5, controlling the e4 square. Knight bd2, his intention is still the same. So I decided to not be worse, play rook e8, and also to place a move e5, putting the nice pressure in the center. He plays e4, e5, e takes d5. Pretty reasonable exchange, because he opens his white diagonal for his bishop. I retake with the knight, knight c4, so he makes some pressure on my e5 square, but my e5 square is really well protected, especially after the move knight c6, where this pawn is thrice, I think I checked this word and this is correct, thrice protected, right? He's also thrice attacking this pawn, but in order, if you want to get something, you have to attack it at least once more than this pawn is defended. So for example, this pawn is attacked 3 times, my pawn is defended 3 times, so it means that this is safe. If it would be attacked 4 times, it would be in danger, but now it's pretty safe. But anyway, I somehow want to develop this bishop. For example, if I play bishop e6, this is what happens with this pawn. The rook stops defending it, so now the Gukesh can easily take this pawn and be really happy. For example, if I play bishop g4 move, he can play h3, kick off my bishop. I don't really want to give up the bishop pair, since my knight in the center would be now in danger. And the second thing, I don't really like to giving up the bishop pair. So that's why. How can I go to? I think I can. Oh, sorry, I just wanted to get out of this analysis mode. I played knight b6, kicking off this c4 knight, And let's have a look, because this knight is going to the party right now. h6. Reasonable move, because after bishop e6 I stop knight g5 ideas. Boom. Boom. And boom. Gukesh really wanted to go for a party with this knight. It came all the road. He played 4 moves with his knight, only to put it on b3. But I don't care, I just develop, I just end my development. And you see, I control the center. I play this move h6, which still it stops knight g5 ideas. Rook a d8 in the future. I am just about to end the development in a really good way and have an amazing position against the rising star. Back in these days, rising stars. Now, of course, he's a top chess player. On the day of recording this video, he's number 6 in the world. And he is playing Hikaru Nakamura. Guys, please watch the candidates today. Watch the candidates, because, you know, we may... today's day may change the chess world. Right? Follow the candidates. Please, follow the candidates. Bishop e3, so he is also developing a bishop. Rook a d8, as I have told you, I end my development. I am really happy about it. Bishop c5, queen d7, I am escaping. I don't really want to lose my queen. Queen c1. Okay, so he wants to escape from this potential x-ray on the d-file. So king h7 I play. I put my king in a really safe place. I protect the h6 pawn if something happens. In general, it is a good idea to make your king as safe as it is possible. So I am not concerned about it. Bishop a3 with some idea of playing knight c5, making some triple forks. So queen f7. Sorry, Gukesh, not today. He plays knight c5 anyway, so the knight starts dancing again. Bishop c8. So of course, I don't really like to undo my pieces, but sometimes if I have to, I am not that worried about it. Now I protect the b7 pawn, and everything should be really clear. Let's have a look that still this rook is not that easy to be developed. For example, if he moves his queen to e2, to d2, sorry, already the queen is on the same what? On the same line with the d8 rook, and e4 might happen. Now the pawn is pinned, d4, you lose a queen, and you lose a game. So after e4, if you move the knight, you don't really have a good square for your knight. Knight h4, g5. Sorry, you lost your knight. So it's a bad idea in general. And, well, you don't really want to play like this. So, so he plays h4 move. For some reason, maybe try to pretend that he is attacking my king or something. Knight d5. So I'm centralizing my knight, playing b6, maybe bishop b7, knight b3, he's still dancing. Knight f6. I realized that my knight on b6 was doing particularly nothing. Maybe it can do somehow better on g4 if he would stay next to his white king. Next to his king. That's why he played knight h2. So he covers the g4 square, he opens the diagonal, so probably he also stops the b6 move. But I understood that if I have all my pieces in the game, they are all ready for some action. And I play e4. Wow, the powerful move. You see that I open the e-file. I open the dark diagonal for my g7 bishop. And in general, if I have more pieces in the game, my intention is to open the position. And you will see a great proof that I did pretty good there. D takes e4, knight takes e4. I have centralized knight, so it's almost a perfect square for a knight. And he does what I did some moves later. Some moves before. Sorry, he plays knight c5. So he's trying to exchange my knight, which is perfectly placed on e4. But I have opened the position. The pieces who likes to be opened, they are bishops, they are rooks, and queens. In general, every piece. But now I spotted a tactics which Gukesh probably missed. And I'm really proud of this move. Knight takes f2. Wow, what is happening? What is happening? You're blundering the knight. Kosak, you're blundering the knight. What's after king f2? Well, bishop d4 check. Attack and attack. If king f1 appears, I can just chop the knight, play queen c4, and in the next move, I can take the bishop, and I get a pawn, so I am pawn advantage. Also, this pawn is a little bit weak, so after king h1, I might even think about some moves like queen f2, attacking this pawn, and maybe put some pressure on these squares. The position is winning. Look at these pieces. There's a move number 30. We're almost about move number 30, and his pieces are stuck on these first two lines. So it's a really good position you can get against a grandmaster, right? So after king f2, bishop d4, he doesn't really have anything better to do, because after queen f3, probably I can play queen d5. You know, he goes with the king on f4. As the Hans Niemann told in one interview, I don't even need to show you the variations. Right, with the king on f4. There's no need to do it. In the worst case, I can just chop the bishop if I don't see a mate immediately. So it only means that this position is perfect. That's why Gukesh exchanged the rooks first, rook takes e8, and now played the king f2. But almost the same scenario happened. Bishop d4 check, king f1, bishop takes c5. Of course, don't give a check first on c4, because knight d3, this knight escapes. So it's really important for us to... Oh, yeah. So it's really important for us to take the knight first. Bishop c5, queen c4 check, king g1, and queen takes c5. King h1, rook e2. I could play queen f2 as I have told you in the analysis, but now without the rook on e1, rook e2 makes perfect sense for me. Attacking the pawn on c2, making some pressure on these pieces on the second file, it looks just devastating for black. Queen f4, so he attacks the pawn on c7, and if I just miss it, I can also lose my bishop, so I played knight e5, centralizing my knight. Also, closing the communication between the queen and the pawn on c7. He plays knight f3, so he is trying to make some pressure on my knight on e5. I played knight g4, so I put the knight a little bit closer to his king and trying to make some potential threats. I don't know, maybe some check, maybe some Beniowski mate. I don't know. I know it. I know this is not the name in English, Beniowski, but in Polish we say Beniowski, and I think this name is beautiful, so I will use it. b4. Okay, so he attacks my queen, and I think I lost my sense of danger there, because I thought that I am pawn up, I have almost all my pieces active, instead of bishop c8, but he's doing not that bad. I lost my sense of danger. I took the pawn on c2. You can see that after 8 seconds of thinking, I just took the pawn on c2. You can see the bars exploding on white side. Why is this move that bad? Well, this move opens the c file, and I completely forgot about the move rook c1, which was so sad when I saw it on the board. Because, you know, queen c2, if not rook c1, it's totally winning. Because I cross with my heavy pieces through the second line, I attack the bishop on g2, the position is completely winning, but rook c1 attacks my queen. And if I move my queen somewhere, it attacks the pawn on c7. This is the point of this move. If I move my king, I lose my bishop. So it's over. This is over. So I was almost forced. Sorry, I just want to... I just need to create some good idea to delay these variations and to make this board at these colors, you know, because if I go to in the analysis mode, the board is lightening a little bit. I need to find a good way to to delay this analysis for you to make this analysis as clear as it is possible. So, you know, as the act of desperation, I took the bishop on g2. But luckily the Gukesh missed. The Gukesh. The Gukesh. Like the name of the king. The Gukesh. Gukesh missed a winning opportunity for him. He could play queen takes c7. And we can see, I really like this kind of defensive move because the rook doesn't look directly to the queen, but it defends it. It's strange in chess, but this is how it is. You can see we have the queen, we have my queen between the rook and the queen, but anyway the rook protects this queen because queen c7, rook c7, and not only he gets this free bishop, but he gets a free rook, and I am rook down, and I am totally lost. So queen c7 was deadly for me. After queen c7 I can just resign. But luckily the Gukesh D, so our king, he played rook c2. So he just didn't spot this idea. We can see that the bar came to this equal level. So now the position is equal. Of course he has a queen, but I have many pawns and I have a light piece more. So the position is balanced, let's say. But we are still on seconds, and I have active pieces, so they are limiting the possibilities of this king. I can also give some check. Gukesh plays knight d4, so centralizes his knight. We can see that I emphasize a lot of times that we like to centralize our knights, but this is how we play chess. We like to centralize our knights because they like to be centralized. But now I have to check. Ooh. King g2. If king g1, there's a fork on h3, so it doesn't really matter. He played king g2 and knight d3. Yeah, this is the difference. Knight c2, knight f4, gf4, and I am 2 pawns up. I am 2 pawns up against Gukesh. So it shouldn't be that hard to convert. Bishop e6. Now I attack the pawn. And the most basic rule in the endgames. What is, guys? Please tell me. Tell me in the comments if you reached this moment in this video. I hope there is at least one person who did this, who reached this moment at this video. Please tell me what is the most basic rule you can follow in the endgame. Please tell me. And I played king g7. Knight d4. King f6, so I follow this rule. King f2 and bishop c4. In general, the position should be easy to winning. Yeah, I played g5, so I tried to create a passer on this f5, on this f file. He plays knight f3, king f6, and king f4, so really good geometry by him. I have to admit. Well, he controls these dark squares. And if I play king e6, for example, knight d4, he chops my bishop. He chops my pawn. So I play bishop d5 first and play bishop e4 in order to protect the pawn and also to make on him some decision. He plays knight b5, but I play c6. Knight a7. I blundered. Yes, I blundered. I will not lie to you. I blundered this. But this knight on a7 is a little bit stuck there. It doesn't have that much possibilities, but I can easily go for these pawns and chop them. Knight c8, king d5, a4, king c4, b5. So Gukesh counts for some tactics. I played cb5, which is of course not bad, but c5 was just much better with the intention of playing king b4 and pushing this pawn. It was. Now I'm on the verge of winning this. But I played cb5, knight d6 check, king c5, and unfortunately this Indian prodigy lost on time there. But anyway, I think I would clinch it because the position is lost. Like now I'm attacking this knight. He can play knight b5 there. But if I manage somehow to get this pawn, to be honest, it shouldn't be that hard. I have to be winning, but at the same time, I have to be, you know, what? I have to be cautious. I have to be cautious because if I play king b4, he has knight d6 move. And you can see, oh, well, after taking the pawn on a4, your bishop is protecting these two bishops. You just push this b pawn and you're winning. Man, knight takes b7, decoy. Decoy the bishop, take the pawn and make a draw. Come on. So you need to be cautious. You can't play king. You can't play king b4. Of course, king b4 is the idea in the air. But first, you need to cover the square. Play bishop d3, which is not that hard to spot, to be honest. Now the knight has to admit some where to go. For example, if it goes to c7, now I can play king b4, and then can chop this pawn. And now this bishop is protecting this pawn, and I can easily go with this one. After knight c3, the same story happens. So bishop d3 would be this the last needed accuracy to win this game. To summarize this game a little bit, I am happy that I could put not only the great resistance, but I could put him under a great pressure, and he didn't manage to solve all of his problems. Because of the fact that I played normal chess, I was trying to develop pieces, opening the position if there was need. I found some tactics. I just destroyed the position of his king. This knight have to move. Mwah. Muy bueno. El movimiento muy bueno. See. Okay, guys. I am happy. Please play chess. If you want to play chess better, I don't think I know exactly how to do it, but I can put you some good piece of advices. For example, and just develop pieces. Open the position. If you have all the pieces developed, look for some tactics. If you open the position, look especially for the tactics use the bishops, queens and rooks, because these are the pieces which especially like the open positions. As you could see, I used the knight to open the position of the king, yeah, with this knight f2 idea. I can maybe remind you. Yeah, I can remind you. I just used the knight to open the position of the king, but then I used the bishop, also the rook somehow, because it cuts off the king along this e file. And I use the bishop and use the queen. So use these pieces if you want to look for some tactics in open positions. And be happy, because if you lose in chess, the world doesn't end. You're still alive. You're still happy. I hope you are living in a safe place. And I hope that you enjoyed this video. Thank you very much. Remember the 3.14 number P. What's the name of Gukesh D? This is maybe a good answer. If you were listening throughout my whole video, maybe you know the answer. What's the name of Gukesh D? Type your answers in the comment. Bye bye.